2 lings again making their way. Now, is he going to make more lings? You don't want to be making more lings. He's going to pull some more drones. Nice micro there by the drones and the Zerglings, taking out the Marine rather easily. There is the first queen on its way. Second queen just going to come out right now for Monster. And that was just really cool by Beastie. He pulled drones, which is something you want to do against Zerg. Don't really let them mine. Don't have them mine for a very long time. And behind this, his tech is a little bit more superior. Now, there's no gas for Monster, so he's not going to have any kind of early speedlings on the map rather soon. We do see the Hellions on the way right now for Beastyqt. Also getting a barracks, getting a tech lab. Interesting. I'm curious to see if he's going to go maybe for a Marauder follow-up. But there's, again, Hellions on the way. There is a Marauder on its way right now for Beastyqt. We're going to have a Hellion making its way into the third. Make sure there's no kind of ling, as well as that Hellion over there making its way across to the natural of Beastyqt, excuse me, of Monster. 10 drones on the way for Monster. That is a bunch of drones, man. How many lings does he have right now? He has 4 lings. He's going to see the Hellions right now on the map. He, of course, does see it because the ling is about to die. Ling's about to die. Okay, there we go. Ling goes down for Monster. Stim on its way right now for Beastyqt. Also the reactor. Actually, another reactor going to be added here to the factory. Now, this is interesting. What is he going to go? Is he going to go for double factory? No. He's actually going to throw down another barracks. So what kind of build is going to come out here from Beastyqt? Getting 2, so he's going to be on 3 barracks, getting Stim rather soon. And there's actually the Hellions here making their way across the map. I think Monster's going to be ready for this. There's a Spinecrawler, 2 queens again. Empire.Beastyqt, you don't really want to overcommit there. Nice control there with his Hellions. But there is the Roachhorn on its way. Monster might actually be a little bit aggressive here. This is the question's going to be, guys. Is he making this Roachhorn for defensive purposes, or is he going to go aggressive onto Beastyqt? Beastyqt might actually be going for a Marine Hellion Marauder timing, or the Marauder Hellion timing. He is making Marauders back home. Stim is on its way. Metabolic boost on its way as well here for Monster. So he's going to have link speed rather soon. 7 roaches on the way for Monster, and we're going to just look at the production tab. If he's going to make more drones, or if he's just going to keep making roaches, that's going to be the huge question right now. And behind this, let's look at Beastyqt's base. Looks like the factory again being lifted, adding to another reactor. This is going to be a lot of bio units coming out from Beastyqt. Production tab does show 4 additional Marines, more Marauders. Beastyqt does have himself the map control at this point, given the fact that he does have these Hellions on the map. 6 more roaches on the way for Monster. And this has just got to be aggression from Monster. He's even going to get a Baneling Nest, man. This guy, I think he's going to go for a 2-base all-in. I mean, his drone count right now is at 41. He has stopped making drones at this point. He's just making roaches, getting a Baneling Nest. Speed is almost completed. More links on its way. And Beastyqt down in supply. 63 supply to 94. Now, is Beastyqt going to be ready for this? He does have a nice wall. Here located at the natural. He does have a bunch of supply depots, getting his upgrades as well. We do see that there is weapons level 1 on its way for Beastyqt. A bunch of Marines on the way, and this is it, man. Roach is making the way across the map right now for Monster. Beastyqt at this point, he's like, okay, so this guy is going to go for an all-in, making more links behind it, getting the Baneling Nest, which is about to complete as well. He has to get some defenses up. We're going to see a bunch of few bunkers here being thrown down for Beastyqt. Huge supply advantage right now for Monster, 107 to 76, and this is just going to be an all-in for Monster. He has to kill his opponent with this push. A bunch of Banelings here being morphed at the natural, actually near the third here of Beastyqt, and that's a lot of units, man. That's 16 roaches, 34 lings, a bunch more Banelings. So he's gonna have about 20 Banelings on the map. Beastyqt, he is trying to defend as best as possible right now, getting so many bunkers. Even gonna pull some SCVs. Looks like Monster gonna go in for it. Banelings are gonna hit the supply depots. Stim is completed for Beastyqt. That is gonna help him so much, but that just seems like that is a lot of roaches out here from Monster. Beastyqt did a great job of defending this, losing the bunkers, but he still has most of his Marines alive. Behind this, there's actually drones in production, so Monster, realizing that he's not going to be able to break his opponent, going to try to get back into this economically wise. But the Harvester advantage right now is going to go in the favor of Monster. 50 drones compared to the 35 SCVs. What does Beastyqt have going at home? It looks like Monster going to try to be aggressive yet again. The supply depot wall going up again for Beastyqt. Stimming is going to be our Terran player, going to focus down some of these lings. Beautiful defense again by Beastyqt. Beastyqt, sort of evening up the supply right now. A little bit supply blocked. 75 out of 78 compared to 1-4 of Monster. Third expansion on its way for Monster, so he's going to have an economic advantage being a base ahead of his opponent. And the creep spread again. I mean, this guy, he's pretty good at creep spread, I must say. 11 minutes into the game, he does connect his main to the natural. Creep spread very nicely done so far from Monster. Lair is on its way. We do see the evolution chamber as well here being added, a macro hatch as well. So any kind of extra resources here coming out for Monster can be used into drones, as well as possibly units, possibly lings or additional roaches. But I'm not too sure in terms of the composition he's going to stay for. I don't know if it's the best option to go ahead and stay Roach, Ling, Baneling. Maybe he wants to transition into Infestors. I would say the best option at this point is to transition into Infestors. But just hold that thought. It looks like Beastyqt going to make his way across the map, moving around the map with a bunch of Marines. 28 Marines, 5 Marauders, and a Siege Tank. Is a Siege Tank in this composition? No, it's not. But it looks like Beastyqt going to make his presence on the map, going to scan, going to clear up some creep. But Monster coming in with such a beautiful flank, going to surround with the Lynx from the back and blowing up on the Marines with the Banelings. Nice flank there from our Zerg player. And the Spire's on its way for Monster. So it looks like he is in fact going to go ahead and go into that muta transition. There it is. Spire's on its way. Third is actually almost completed. Third is actually just going to get completed right now for Monster. Macro Hatch is on the way as well. And Beastyqt, you know, this is something he didn't do last game. He wasn't really aggressive on the map early on, cleaning the creep, which he is doing in this game. But it looks like Monster going to move forward with the Roaches and the Banelings. Beastyqt needs to micro as best as possible. Nice control there, focusing down the Banelings. Great use of these Marines and the Marauders by Beastyqt. We do see the third command center is on its way for Beastyqt. Almost completed. Also, the Spire almost completed here for Monster. Monster going to go again, moving forward with the Roaches. The Banelings trying to connect on the Marines. Beastyqt again focusing down the Banelings. Nice control once again with the bio units. Siege mode is on its way right now for Beastyqt. More Siege Tanks in production. Spire is about to complete. We do also see centrifugal hooks on the way right now for Monster. It looks like the engagement going to go again. Beastyqt still, he just has, he's like reinforcing so well. He's actually up to 3 tanks right now, a bunch of Marines. Monster kind of in a desperate position right now, trying to get as many units on the map as possible. He is making 16 Lings, 12 Banelings, getting his upgrades as well. We do see that there's the Glyrwood Constitution on the way for the Roaches. Beastyqt trying to get into a good position. I really like the positioning with the tanks. He's going to be able to do some damage against the Roaches if the Roaches do come in this location. And it looks like Monster trying to find the best engagement or best angle to engage into this. Beastyqt being so smart with his medevacs. Going to lift up, dropping on top over the rocks here. And lift up again. So Monster playing this rather well. Looks like Monster going to go for it. Moving forward, the Banelings and the Roaches trying to connect onto these Marines, taking out so many of the units of Beastyqt. I think Monster might have actually broken this. Beastyqt all the way down to 108 supply compared to the 142. And there is even mutas on the map right now for Monster. Oh, Monster just had a great read onto Beastyqt. Really, you know, defending rather superb. 104 supply to Beastyqt, 142 back home. What is Beastyqt going to do? At this point, he is going to go ahead and add 2 additional barracks, given the fact that he was a little bit high onto resources. Will be able to use the additional minerals onto these barracks. 20 more Lings on the way for Monster. Monster is still ahead in supply, 142 to 101. What kind of tech do we have coming out from Monster other than this Ling Mutaling composition? We do see Carapace level 2 on its way, and you know what? Monster might actually just be aggressive here, guys. I don't know if Beastyqt is going to have another hold against this composition from Monster. It looks like he does have nice positioning with the Siege Tanks. Going to be able to do a good amount of damage against these Lings. And, you know, this is sort of similar to game 1. You know, Monster sort of has a good composition. I haven't really seen a lot of early Infestor play. It seems like he likes opening Muta, transitioning into Infestors, which can be a very good style, which is, you know, I guess that's just his style in ZBT. But there we go. We're going to see some mutas here making their way into the main. One turret going to go down. Looks like Beastyqt kind of caught out of position. Going to have to stim some more Marines right now. Trying to move into the main as quickly as possible. Trying to eliminate these mutas from the main. Looks like they're just going to be able to fly away. More Mutalisks in production. And this is cool. Beastyqt will be able to take a third much sooner than the previous game. So if he holds off for as long as possible and gets the right army, he's going to mix in some Thors, which are going to be good against his mutas kind of similar to the previous game. He's going to be in a good position. But Monster moving into the third once again. One turret going to try to deny these mutas. Will be able to kill the SCV. Nice cancel there by Beastyqt. Good reaction time. And Monster might just go for it right now. 177 supply for the Zerg. 122 for Beastyqt. He's even going to be able to take that high-yield expansion here. Is MVP.Monster. More mutas on the way. Command center again, so he's going to try to double expand behind this. Not really a double expand, but just try to get a very early fourth. And Monster still moving around with the mutas. Infestation pit on its way. Behind this, we also see the evolution chamber, so he's going to have more upgrades. If I take a quick look at the upgrades, he doesn't really have any upgrades on the mutas. Meanwhile, Beastyqt already has 1-1 on his bio units. Harvester advantage at this point is going to be in the favor of Monster. 73 drones compared to the 57 SCVs. And Monster just being very, very aggressive here with the mutas, trying to move into the main, picking off another turret. A second turret going to go down. Beastyqt is still down in supply, but is defending rather well. Going to have to pull some more Marines. You know what? Just hold that thought, man. Beastyqt is just going to go for it. Moving across the map. A lot of Marines and siege tanks. Look at this flank by Monster just coming out of nowhere. So many Lings and Banlings. Beastyqt is in this position where he doesn't know where to go in. Nice splitting with the Marines. Looks like the Banlings are going to try to connect on these Marines. Beastyqt trying to stem and move away as best as possible. The mutas are going to be able to magic box the store. That's going to go down. Monster is just playing. Monster's just a monster, man. This guy he's playing very, very well. And you know, the flank there was so smart. He had control of the watchtower. He saw the units of Beastyqt moving across the map, and he just came in from the best angle possible and just pretty much ran over that army. So not the best scanning or not the best scouting there from Beastyqt moving across the map. But at this point, Monster's still ahead in supply. 186 to 111. More mutas making their way into the main. Something that Beastyqt does have for him is he is, again, trying to position these tanks in the best position possible, trying to defend the third as well as defend the natural as best as possible. But I think Monster at this point, given the fact that he has this high-yield expansion, it's going to be very, very hard here for Beastyqt to try to do any kind of aggression here onto the economy of Monster. Monster, at this point, man, making more Banelings, making more Lings, hasn't really transitioned into Infestors, although he does have the Infestation Pit on the way. Nice scan there by Beastyqt. We'll be able to spot that the Hive is in fact on its way. There is the Infestation Pit, but there's no Infestors. You know why? Because he is maxed. He is moving forward with a bunch of Banelings. So many Lings. Very, very Banling heavy. He's not going to let Beastyqt be able to take that held expansion. He's going to move forward, focusing down so many of these Banelings. And Monster, whether he wins this engagement or not, it looks like he is going to win it. 167 supply for Monster. Not even 180 supply now for Beastyqt. Monster just going in again, so aggressive in this ZVT matchup. Has his timings down so well. And GG gets called, man. Beastyqt was starving super hard for that fourth expansion. But overall, a very solid game from MVP's Monster. He is going to go up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. And guys, we're going to go ahead and get into game number 3. MVP Monster currently up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. Will Beastyqt come back and try to win some more games? Or is Monster going to go for another 2 wins and secure himself $100? We're going to be back after this quick commercial break. Alright guys, it looks like the next map is going to be on ESV Ohana. Let me go ahead and get the players in the lobby so we can go ahead and get started into game number 3. Monster currently up 2-0. Wow, Monster's pretty damn good, guys. Not really known too much in the foreign community. I'm pretty sure he's a ladder grinder over on the Korean server, but phenomenal play thus far from the Zerg player. And let me go ahead and invite our players into the lobby. There is Beastyqt. Let's go ahead and invite Monster, not to a party, but to the actual game. And guys, man, this is game number 3. Woo! I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and make sure both players are ready, guys. Alright, countdown has started. MVP Monster currently up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. Beastyqt, he can do it, man. He is going to come back. He is going to win this game on ESV Ohana. Game number 3 coming at you. All right, everybody, welcome to game number 3 between Empire.Beastyqt, currently down 2 games in this best of 7 series. Pretty good games overall in the early matches for Beastyqt. It doesn't really seem to transition early enough, I would say, to the composition the Monster is going for. But, you know, I'm a little bit surprised in terms of the decision that Monster is doing, going Mutaling, Baneling. I mean, it's been working great for him. But something we see a lot has just been Ling Infester. I think he's one of these players that still relies on Mutaling, Baneling. And as long as you have